So one way in which one can understand the evolution of business is to just walk through Harvard Business School and see the names of the buildings in Harvard Business School. So you start with JP Morgan, you start with Mr. Baker. These were people who were pioneers of American business at the turn of the century when Harvard Business School was first founded. As we now enter our second century and you think about the frontiers of business, this building so important is that we now have the name of a very important Chinese family on this campus. Even though we are here in America on the banks of the Charles, we're a great global institution, and this is a symbol of the globalization that Harvard Business School represents.
I was born in a very small farm village, and it's only 9 families. The Japanese invaded China, and we are in the front. The war is terrible. Whole village destroyed. So our family suffered a lot. First 2 years, to be honest, it's like inhuman. Only try to survive. After 1949, I was sent on the ship as a cadet. But unfortunately, Civil War in China, and Shanghai was blocked. So I couldn't go back to China anymore. It's totally turmoil. Lost lots of people's life. So I found that this is not the way China should have it. As a citizen, let's study well, hopefully build a new world in China. So I started to study hard. I not only passed the examination, I broke all the records in China.
My mother saw that he was a young man with great potential. He achieved the rank of captain, sea captain, at the very tender age of 29. She had tremendous love for him, she believed in him, and it's a wonderful love story.
So I told her one thing. I said, Mulan, I love you. I really love you. I love you for life. I pledge that. So she is prepared because she married a navigator. He married a seaman. And my wife is strong enough, smart enough, clever enough, and she supported me, asked me to come in here.
When my father came to America, my mother was already 7 months pregnant with me, her 3rd child. So she basically raised us by herself until my father could bring us over to America.
It took my father 3 long years before he was able to bring us to America. And we came aboard a ship, and it took 37 days, ocean journey, before we arrived in New York. Our initial years in America were very difficult. My father held 3 jobs. We lived in a 1-bedroom apartment. We didn't speak English. We couldn't eat the food. The culture was different. But my parents were such optimistic people. We were very happy because we were together, reunited as a family. We were in America, the land of opportunity. Hey, life's good.
Oh, my family is a wonderful illustration of the American dream. I think about how they left a war-torn country, crossed an ocean, left family and friends and everything familiar behind, all in search for a better life.
So my parents are extraordinary people. I think you're starting to get a sense of the incredible and deep love that they had for one another. And they were always optimistic, and they always were hand in hand, looking forward, walking forward, together, as a team, as a partnership.
This is the wedding day. We went to the studio.
My mother was this incredibly loving, thoughtful, kind, generous, and wise person. And she was always encouraging and supportive of people's ideas and their dreams, most of all.
She was very unassuming, never wanted to be in the spotlight, but her influence and her presence was always felt. She had a steadfast faith and a very strong moral compass.
So my father saw my mother as an equal partner. He really treasured their relationship, and he used her as an advisor, as a matter of course during business matters, as in personal matters.
Not only love her, but with always respect.
At 53, my mother finally pursued her lifelong dream of furthering her education. She received her master's, but she was really thrilled to be back in the classroom, to be back on campus, to be back at school.
This family represents triumph over hardship, great love that binds a family together, a great commitment to making sure that the next generation does better yet, a recognition that education is a way to improve one's life, and a commitment to now paying forward, to be philanthropic, to recognize that this great American dream is a dream that should be made possible and available to others yet, and through this gift, to try and make that opportunity available for many, many generations of students in the future.
Almost every one of the big gifts that an institution like the Harvard Business School gets, it goes back a long way. It starts with a remarkable family, the Chaos, who had 6 remarkable daughters, 4 of whom came to the Harvard Business School.
I met Dr. Chao when I and Dean Light and Dick Spangler actually went to New York to meet with Dr. Chao and the family to talk about this opportunity as we hoped it would be. But you know, there wasn't a single building at Harvard Business School at that time named for an Asian, not a single building in the entire university till now named for a Chinese American family. And there wasn't a single building anywhere in the university named for a woman. This was a chance to make a statement in multiple directions and to be part of the future of Harvard University and Harvard Business School.
This is a splendid gift from the Chao family, and it is much needed at Harvard Business School to help expand an already successful executive education program, in that these future students will be leaders across the world who will come right here to the Chao Center to learn from each other and from Harvard Business School professors.
The story of this family is so compelling, a family that really makes itself from very modest background into one of the great shipping companies and shipping families in the world.
Foremost Group is an international shipping company specializing in dry bulk carriers. So my parents started this company shortly after coming to America, really because my father couldn't get hired. He had a thick Chinese accent, he didn't know anybody, nobody could trust him or knew to trust him because they didn't know about his background or have any relationships. So he was here all on his own, and he had a wife, 3 children to support, and he desperately wanted to bring them to America.
So the Chao family is a great example of the power of leadership. In so many spheres of life, they have been ambassadors that have built the bridge between China and the United States, 2 economies who together will shape the future of the world. So we are so proud to have the legacy of this leadership be represented on our campus.
My parents are very grateful to America for the opportunities that this country has offered us. And that's the reason for their philanthropy. To cultivate and develop a new generation of leaders.
The Chao Family Fellowship is my family's way of contributing and helping the next generation. And I hope that the Chao Fellows and the Chao Scholars are inspired by my parents' story because they will find so much strength. And I hope that they also know that they continue to inspire us as well.
So the building has a remarkable location. It's at the very edge of Harvard Way, which is the main thoroughfare of Harvard Business School. And now I think it's going to be at the intersection of another very important thoroughfare, which is going to be people traveling from Harvard University across the bridge into our campus as they connect to the spectacular new campus that Harvard is going to have in Allston as well. So we really tried very hard to make sure that our architects understood how important it was for this building, given its location, to be true to the old McKim, Mead and White plan. There's another side of the building which relates to Tata Hall and a more contemporary building. So the building has this dual capacity, which is in the front, it looks as if it was a part of Harvard Business School for its 100 years. And through its back, it has this invitation, which is a more glass, transparent invitation that says, this is the Harvard Business School of the 21st century as well.
In some respects, it was an enormous design challenge. First of all, we know that we're a destination, and a destination where people are so eager and proud to be here. And so how that all plays out in terms of how you're received, how it's open, how it facilitates movement, what its interior designs are, where it's comfortable, it's conducive to conversation, where do you sit, where do you linger? All of those pieces actually play into just pulling the academics together, and those are the kind of conversations we had deeply with the architect. There's an intensity that comes with the academic programs here.
So you spend even more on capital expenditures while you're earning less.
And just the pedagogy with case-based learning, it's discussion, it's enriched by people bringing their points of view. So there's a real intensity to what happens in the classroom. What happens outside of the classroom? People want to continue the dialogue, they want to engage with each other about what they just learned. There's no other space like this within Harvard University, so we're really excited to see what that does in terms of building the community, because we know it's just going to change things enormously.
How wonderful it is of my father to honor his wife with this Ruth Mulan Chu Chao Center at Harvard Business School.
So 2013 was a landmark year at Harvard Business School. It marked the 50th year of women being admitted to Harvard Business School. We had a major celebration. The highlight of that celebration was being able to announce this gift.
And I take a special pleasure in the representation of so much of the power of women in this family that this building will represent in its name and in its origins.
4 daughters honoring their mother. 4 daughters who went to Harvard Business School, to mark this moment where we reminded ourselves that only 50 years ago was the first time that we admitted women to Harvard Business School.
People walk into this building, I want them to feel inspired. To generate and stimulate new ideas, new perspectives, new ways of thinking of things. They know that they can make a difference, because they can. We all can.
Harvard Business School has a unique opportunity to educate future leaders. And it is our family's dream that within these walls will arise the next generation of leaders.
My parents believed you should dream big, and that the world was an enormous place full of possibilities and full of opportunities, and that it was your job to go out and seek them. There's a phrase that my parents would always use with us. In Chinese, it's, look to the east, look to the west. And it's about being observant, understanding your environment, staying alert, and just opening your eyes and seeing what a big, beautiful world this really could be. And also finding a place for yourself in that world, and how you could hopefully contribute to it in one way in the future.
This represents something quite unique in terms of the Chao family and the Chao family name representing a global name. There's something quite powerful in that.
My experience at HBS has been wonderful. It would not have been possible without the Chao Fellowship. Thank you to the Chao family for giving me this incredible opportunity to come to HBS.
I
want to thank the Chao family for giving me this opportunity to pursue my MBA at HBS, to give me the opportunity to give back to the Chinese community in the future.
I want to thank the Chao family for their wonderful generosity and kindness that enabled me to pursue my dream at HBS.
I just wanted to say thank you, thank you, thank you from me, from all the deans you've worked with, and from this institution as a whole. We deeply thank you for the gift you've given us.
On behalf of the faculty, of the students, of the staff, past, present, and in particular future of Harvard Business School, let me say to the Chao family, thank you very much. 非常非常感谢.
On behalf of everyone in this community, I wanted to express my deepest gratitude to Dr. James Chao, to Ruth Mulan Chu Chao, who I wish I had the opportunity to meet, the Chao sisters and everyone in their family for this truly magnificent gift. This will forever transform Harvard Business School's campus and will create a space where generations of leaders will develop themselves. Thank you.